Hey, happy Friday, everyone. I'm here to share a flip through of both of these journals. These were the only two I was able to get done. However, I'm okay with that. I would prefer to have two really well done journals that are up to my standard and are complete than to try to rush through and get four done just to meet a self-imposed deadline. So these two are the ones we're going to be flipping through today, and I'm just excited to share them with you. There's been a lot of work, a lot of background stuff, but everything that I've done I feel really satisfied with. It's a very satisfying feeling to know that I've done my best and that I can bring these to you and give you a good product. So why don't you get yourselves comfy or get ready to craft, and I will share the flip through of these two journals in just a minute. Okay, I am going to start with the Little Lost Angel. I did some things here that then I wanted to explain on the next journal, and I did make a couple of mistakes, but I think overall it really worked out. And like I said in the last video, your boo-boos give you a chance to be creative and to find a solution, and I'm almost always happier with how things turn out after the boo-boo than I am before. Okay, so some information on this one. It's 3 signatures. It has 128 pages, and the way I count pages is the same way that you do in a book. So side 1 is page 1, the next side of the sheet is page 2, and then page 3, flip it, page 4, and so on. So when I say 128 pages, you can divide that by 4. What's that? 32 sheets of paper. But anyway, 128 pages. The spine is 2.5 inches, and I will start with showing you the spine because this was my last minute idea, and I really am pleased with it. I had wanted to try to use this little applique. It's actually a tatted snowflake ornament. I had picked it up at a thrift store in a bundle of ornaments, and I tried to use it all the way through this whole journal. Everywhere I wanted to use it, it didn't look quite right. Sorry, I got fuzzies on here. I had glue fingers and all kinds of a mess going on earlier today, so I'm all clean now. Anyway, I tried to use this all the way through the journal, and finally I just gave up. Well, when I got it all done, I was looking at the spine and I thought, you know, it just looks a little plain. It could use some jazzing up. And then I thought, well, why don't I use this? Well, my original thought was to glue it, but then I looked at it and I thought, you know, it is an ornament. What if I just let it hang, let it swing, so when it's on your shelf, you know, it could be free floating. So I just sewed it through this button. Well, I put the button shank through here and then sewed the button to the spine. So it's basically a dangling ornament. And then whoever gets the journal is more than welcome, of course, because it'll be theirs, to glue it down. If you don't like the dangle, you can just glue it down. So on the front, I have couple of different trims. I know I had edged in gold paint, but then at the end I just really wanted to jazz up the sparkles, so I added the gold rickrack here, and of course you saw me add the book corners. Now there is this beautiful gold button here on the front cover, whoops, and on the back cover as well. This one's a little more plain, and that's because it's on the back. But what I did, the reason for this, is because after I did my ties, I punched the hole and put in an eyelet to do my ties, but the lace is too long, and so it was really scrunching up the lace. And I know that doesn't bother some people, and normally, I don't know, I mean, I was doing it the same way I always do it, but for some reason on this journal it didn't look right. So my solution was to find a couple of buttons with a shank that I could push through the eyelet here. I don't know if you can see that or not. Yeah, I pushed the shank through, and then I tied the ribbon in a knot on this side. I gave it just a little dab of glue so it would stay, and then that pulled this tight, so it isn't meant to wrap around or anything. There's no space under this button, but it does look pretty, and we're super lucky because these were literally the only 2 buttons in my whole stash that worked. So lucky. But anyway, I think it adds cute little character detail to the front anyhow. So it's I thought it turned out really cute. Now I do have a few charms that I tried to put along the lace edges here, and I have to confess I'm not super great at knowing how to put the bulb pin through and how to make the charms dangle just right. But there's one here. There is a cute little crochet button here. I know I'm giving you sneak peeks, aren't I? Cute little crochet button I had in my stash that I thought added to the character. So as we go through, you'll see those charms hanging, and I'll point them out. I'll continue to point them out as we go. So here's the inside cover, and you saw me fix that problem last week. I made a jumbo tag. The backs of all the tags have a little something, and they're inked. So there's a tag there. You saw when we decided how to decorate the pages here, so that's attached. And then here, this goes like this. Now originally I wanted to glue it down as a pocket, but it's an envelope, and I really wanted whoever has it to be able to use it as an envelope. So the flap, you know, there it is. It's got stuff inside. I don't like that it just, I wish I had thought it through better, because it flips back and forth and it doesn't stay attached. And I had thought long after it was too late to do anything about it that I should have added a magnet to let it clip shut. So I could maybe still do that, but then it would look like I tried to fix something. So anyhow, I'm gonna just leave it for now. As you add things to this envelope, it will get heavier and just kind of lay there. Here's where I stamped "This book belongs to." So instead of doing it on the tag in the front, I put it here. And then I just have a little quote that I cut out of a book page, and I decorated up the envelope. And inside I have this tag that I made, and it's got a Christmas prayer on it. And then on the back is a cutout part of the detail from the cover. Right here. Remember I made those 2 copies? So I just took the detail after I cut out and used the parts I wanted. Then I cut these out, and you'll see a couple places through the book where I've used these as decoration. So that's what I did there. It's just a nice flat tag. It fits inside here. And then I have this cute little Christmas gift tag. It says "Joyful." And I picked that one for this journal because the little angel that is the character, she has a joyful, helpful little spirit. And so most of the things that I picked, I tried to reflect the storyline and just the character of the angel, who is the central character of this book. I did stamping throughout in a lot of places. Here I added a little, it's a die cut image that was from Celeste at Woodland Inspired. Hey Celeste, thank you. I've got several of your things through both of these journals, Celeste, so I will point them out as we go. Stamping here. This is just regular colored copy paper. I did coffee dye it. You can't really tell, but it does give it that texture. This is computer stationery, like for writing Christmas letters like we used to do in the 80s and 90s. And then here I have a folded pocket. I added some lace trim. Now I like it extending past the edge of the page. Whoever gets it may want to just trim it so that it's even. It makes a straight line with the page. That's entirely your choice. But I left it because I liked it. I stamped Merry and Bright, backed it on some fabric, did some stenciling in the background. And then this is just a journal card made from a greeting card. And then I have a few sheets of this cute little notepad paper that I thought matched the style of the book really well. So those are in there. And then we have the story starting. You saw me select this paper in one of my earlier videos. This was one of my first Christmas stamps, and when I first started stamping and sending out our Christmas letters on hand-stamped paper. Here is the cutout from Celeste. So the little bird that you saw back here is one of these pieces that has come out. So there are all 3 of these that were punched out of this beautiful die cut from Celeste are in this book. I'm pretty sure they're all in this book. So let's double check ourselves. As I was working back and forth between both of these, and then also I had done some work in the other journal that didn't get finished yet. And so in working back and forth, things kind of got put between all the journals. So here's a large tag. Here's another cute little cutout that Celeste sent me. Isn't that adorable? So I thought that added a nice little detail. This is the bag that you saw us do on a video. And then I made a side tuck, and this is a journal card. Cute little ruffle here. Now I had to add some washi tape here because the page was splitting. So whoever gets it, you may want to watch. And I think it was mainly as I was trying to pull things in and out up here, seemed to be stress, but you may end up having to add some more later to reinforce the edge of the page, but I think I fixed the problem. Here's the center of the signature. That needs to be up, and I don't have anything to rest it on that won't glare, unfortunately. Hold on a second. Okay, so center spread, and it is one of the pictures from one of the books. So it's a nativity scene. One of the mini pages I tore out in anticipation. Now I did not decorate this side of the page. I kind of like it with the scenery, but obviously whoever gets it can glue things there or add a pocket or whatever. Coffee dyed ledger paper, punched corners, and another book page from one of those inspirational Christmas books that I have. Now here, this is a Christmas card. I don't know that it's very vintage, but it's definitely got a vintage look to it. It was in a box of cards from the thrift shop. So you can open it up right in here, and then I turned it into a tuck spot back here. I've got one of these journal cards that I hand stamped, and then this one I added a sentiment from a greeting card, added a cute little wooden button and a fabric tab. And there you go. There's the other side of that sheet, and here's another one of my early stamping. That's the very first rubber stamp I ever purchased, ever. And I bought it so I could do Christmas letters. So that's just a little memento, and it is warm wishes from me to you. On this side, I have a couple more tags that I made. This is from a Printable by Mrs. Cog, and you will see a lot of those angel printables as journal cards or as embellishments throughout the journal. So added a sticker there, and then this one was actually a collage that I had done on some cardstock. Oh, I didn't stamp on the back. Oh dear. I stamped this image of the Virgin and Child and layered it up, and I think that turned out really cute. And then this was another piece from Celeste. It is a tuck spot back behind. I just didn't have anything left to tuck in there, so it's not got anything in it. This tag I went ahead and stamped. And then I also added this cute little bird element here. I just love the plaid and the red and the green and blue, and it's just very cheerful. It's a cheerful journal. Stamping here. One of those bird cutouts. Die cuts, and then here's another stamp down here, very cute. And then on this page, this is a quilt block that came in a bundle of fabrics and things from the thrift store. Here's that cute little crochet button. I have no idea what it came off of, but clearly I don't need it anymore. So I put it on there. I just thought it added a cute little touch to this journal. This tag is the backing from Celeste's. When she does her packaging, she embosses the backing, and so this one had poinsettias on it. So I just inked it up to bring out the texture and the image. I added one of my flashcards, which you can find in my shop. I mentioned that the other day. So I have a nativity Christmas themed flashcard set in there, and so you will see these throughout both journals as well. And then on the back of this, because it's textured, you can't really write, so I just put the first Noel. And it just slides right in there. Here's the layout you saw me do the other day. Now this here looks like a sack, but it is not. What it is a piece of scrapbook paper, and I just folded it over itself and made like a tube, and then you'll see the other half on the other side. I punched the thumb notch here and decorated it up so it looks like a sack. It's actually got a little more sturdiness to it, and I actually thought that turned out really well. Inside, I've tucked a vintage Christmas postcard. These are those cute ones from Current. And I thought the little girl in her red reminded me of the angel on the book, so I thought that was really cute. These are business cards, but I like to use them as labels. I picked these up at a thrift store. I think they're really cute. And then on the back, there's one of Mrs. Cog's images. Again, it was the angels and choirs, and then also the nativity is the other set. So I use them interchangeably through all my journals here this time. So you can go to Mrs. Cog's shop, it's linked below, and find those there. On this page, I did some stenciling in blue, and I just like how you see the layering as you go flipping through the journal. This is another piece of computer stationery, and I absolutely love how the gold edge on here just really picks up the golds in the image here on the picture. And I don't know, it just makes me really happy every time I see that. It just adds a little sparkle, but it was just the perfect accent to that page. So I like I said, it makes me happy every time I look at it. Okay, here I've got a Christmas doily, and I liked the red and gray, just a little bit different than the norm. This is a vintage Denison sticker, and so I just glued it on here, but the cute little retro angels ringing the bell and the retro book, you know, this is a vintage book. Now this is a tuck spot I made. Under here I have tucked one of my journal cards that I made, and then also this vintage invitation to a Christmas party. But I just love this little angel, and you will see this angel again in the next journal as well. But she's so cute, and again the style of her matches the time period for this journal, the book, when the book was published. Now here I made a belly band, and I just pieced together some scraps I had and then put some lace on the background. The journal card, I did stenciling on the back, and I forgot I wasn't and just went inking over the edge of the stencil, but it kind of makes like a little border, so I'm gonna not be upset by that. And then this is a cutout from a kid's craft book. Again, the style of the angel fits the time period, and then this angel and this angel just, I think they have a lot of similarities. Added a little Christmas flower. I don't know if it's exactly a poinsettia, but it's in the right color scheme. One of my flashcards, and that just tucks under there. And then this is a children's book of Christmas carols, and it's just words. So I used one of them on the back of the one tag you just saw, and then this is a page. So I folded this over so that it would fit, and then I just edged it with some washi tape. Scrapbook paper, fabric flip with a cute little verse underneath. I love this gold trim. And it brings out, I hadn't really noticed it till I added the trim, but there are little gold stars in this fabric that shine, and so it makes them sparkle. Here's a Christmas carol from a vintage music book, a book page, and then in the middle has Hark the Herald Angels Sing. Now I just left the centers of the signatures alone. I just knotted them and just let these hang. So you can tie it in a bow, or you can add some charms, or you can tie fabric or lace little scraps in the center. I just left them. I wasn't feeling too inspired to really do anything in particular with them, so I just let them hang, and they're like that in all the signatures. Here's the other side of that caroling book page, and then this is, I don't know if this is vintage trim or not, but it was in one of those packs I had ordered from Matt's Lace on eBay, and there were several printed ones, and so they make really great edges to pages where it might be fragile, and then I just sew it. and it just adds a really nice accent. So you'll see those, a few of those in this journal. I don't remember if I did it in the other journal as well. More stamping. Now this kind of showed through, but I'm okay with that because I just did a decorative element there, so it all kind of works. Original book page, and then I have, this was a tag made out of a Christmas card. This is a tag, and I added an excerpt from one of those inspirational Christmas books, and I just love it. And then I stamped snowflakes, and then I gave it a little element on the back. And then this is a recipe card that I found at the thrift store. It may or may not be vintage. It does say current ink, so I'm not sure how old it is, but I like the style. And then I just used my scraps of fabric and lace and stuff to make the ties. Here's the other half of that sack that is not a sack. I added one of these glittery snowflakes from the Dollar Tree. I don't know if they have them there this year. I bought quite a few of them a couple, 3 years ago, so I have quite a stash of them. But I added it to this because it just needed something. Stenciled over here, this is just a little title that I cut off of one of those book pages I was using. And then on this side, this piece and this piece were extras from, oops, my camera's moving. This piece and this piece were extras cut out from when I photocopied the two covers. Inside here is a very heavy-duty postcard. This thing is thick, and I found this at a thrift store. What's that? It's like glue or something. There we go. I found it at a thrift store a few months ago. You saw it in one of my haul videos, but I love the wreath, and it's kind of got this embossed feel. It's really pretty. Very classic image that goes with just about everything. Here's my donkey page. So that's where I put the cutout of the donkey. I put one of my hand-stamped journal cards, and then I just put a couple scraps in here because whoever gets it might want to play around with adding some other things, and these were scraps that came from this journal, from the papers that I used. This here is a little tiny tag, and originally I had meant to use it as a tag, but then I thought I would add it to this as kind of a charm. I covered the back so there's a teeny tiny spot to write yourself a note. It's got a little sparkle. Isn't that cute? And then we're on to signature 3. You saw me do this last week. And then in here I've got this pocket. This is a cutout from the Christmas Carols, the Little Golden Book. So one of the pages I used, the music, this was left on the bottom, so I cut it out and put it on this page. Sticker I've had in my stash, stamping, another one of my nativity themed journal cards. And then this is from my kids' church. You've seen me use them before, and in the other journals I used them as pockets, but in this one it is actually a journal card. I did back the back and I stamped it. I had debated about covering this part, but you know what? At the end of the day, I decided to just leave it. So if you want to cover it with, you know, something like a label or washi tape or a fabric square or whatever, you sure can, but it just feels Christmassy like this. And I need to double check and see if they're going to have more this year, because I got a big stack that they threw out in the trash, and I've shared some and used a bunch, so I probably need to get some more. This is another vintage Christmas card. Well, not another. It is definitely a vintage Christmas card. The other one, I'm not sure if it was vintage or not, but this one is. And opens up, lots of room to write. And then in the back, I just added this journal card. I made these earlier in the year when I was making ephemera bases. I thought and thought about what I wanted to put on it, and I just couldn't come up with anything, so I just left it blank. So it's there for you to decorate however you wish and to stamp on the back, but it's really nice contrast on this page. But then the new owner can decide what to do or just leave it, because honestly I liked the image. It looks almost, it could almost be like a woodland. It doesn't have to be Christmas, so anyway, I liked it just the way it was, so I left it. This book page had the 3 different nativity scenes, so I thought that went really nice with this book. I lace punched the edge, punched with a lace punch the edge of this paper. Here's a hymnal sheet. Here's another vintage book page. I like that it said celebration starts at daybreak. So I didn't cover this. I was just more focused on this, but you can glue anything you want over there or add a pocket or a flip out or a tag. On the back side though, I did do a lot of covering up. It was a picture of a child with a horse in a stable, and it was not very attractive. So I just glued down this Christmas carol here in the background, and this is another of Celeste's pieces. It's a Rolodex card. And so I backed the top, and underneath where the Rolodex cutouts are, I put ribbon back behind there and tied in with the plaid that's on this tree, and then I just stamped this Noel, the word Noel, and made a label out of it. And then this is a printable. I think maybe it came from the Graphics Fairy. I don't honestly remember. I downloaded it years ago. It's kind of blurry because it's an old vintage image. So if you're looking for it, just try the Graphics Fairy because it was a free image, and just say churches or snow and winter scene, church, winter church, I don't know, whatever. I don't remember where exactly I got it from, but it was free. And I like it, so it's sitting right there. Now on this, so this is just notebook paper that I've copy dyed. Of course the edges can be fragile, so I reinforced it with washi tape, and then I put the side with the holes towards the top. I reinforced them with hole reinforcers that I've inked, and then I just tied some pretty ribbon through it. And I think it just gives it a fun little fluffy element at the top. It's cute. Very festive. This is another book page, and this, I just liked the old English style of calligraphy in there, and the picture, so I really didn't do anything with it. There's another nativity scene there. And then on this side, it's just the words. So this is a coaster. It says Merry Christmas, and inside I tucked another one of my hand-stamped images from when I was going to make Christmas cards a few years ago and never got it done. So I have like 80 of these that I stamped up and never turned into anything. So they go in all my Christmas journals now. This, I think, is from Calico Collage. Again, it's one that I downloaded a few years ago, and I believe that she has Calico Collage is the name of the Etsy shop, and she does a lot of printables, and I can't think of her name right now. That is the gal that owns it. I believe that these are actually full page size. So she has one hymn on this side and one carol on this side and one carol on that side, and they're actually full page, and I reduced them down to make them into journal cards. So I had a bunch of these still in my stash that I needed to cut out and use, so that's in there. But if you go to her shop, they are like vintage Christmas carols, but I think they are actually meant to be used as full-size journal pages. So when you print them out, there's green, blue, red, and I can't remember if there's another color or not, but they're really pretty. She had copied a really old hymnal. Isn't that pretty? And so it has all the artwork and stuff. So I think it just jazzes up every project. Here's the other side of that notebook page, and then I also just stuck a little charm through there. It says joy, echoing the joyful tag from earlier and the theme of the book, and it's just on a red bulb pin. This is the other side of the one page I was trying to cover up. So this is from a different book. It's from a little golden book, a small one, a mini size, and it had the angels. It's a book about counting, so I covered up the number with the sticker, and then I added one of these labels that's meant to go through your computer, and I'm just using them as labels in journals because I think they're really cute. Picture of an angel here. the back side of the hymn. And then also you can read about, it's a poem, Peace on Earth. This is a index card that I stamped up. I had a bunch. I used to send these out as, use them for my address labels when I first started my Etsy shop. And so I stamped, there's lace in the background, and then one of my favorite rose stamps. But now I just use what's left as journal cards. Here's another one of the carols from Calico Collage. This one's in blue. This is a book page pocket I made. Here's the die cut. So I think that's number 3, isn't it? I stenciled over this so that it just kind of brought the image forward because the words weren't that exciting. I think it came out of a commentary or something. And then this strip is also from Celeste, so I like that this had the poinsettia kind of Nordic feel. So I had the poinsettias, the bird, and it turned out really cute, I think. So we've got these two in this pocket here, and then there's a side pocket there. And then this is a tag I made from the inside of a Christmas card. And then on the back, I just backed it with some book page and a piece of washi tape. So you can see the words from the book page, so it kind of gives it an interesting effect, but it's definitely got room to write there. So that's a nice thing to do at the end of the year, at the end of Christmas. Not only use the images from the cards, but you can cut out the sentiments and turn them into tags and journal cards as well. So I was really glad to have that stash. So I'll be doing that again this year. It was fun to just use them up. This is from an Ideals magazine. The opposite side is the one that had the vintage card back here. I don't know. Do you really need to see it? I don't know. I'm showing you. There, this side. So this is the other side of it. But it was mostly just trees and sky, so that's why I put the card over it. But I thought it was nice how the bare branches and the bare branches up there went together. So here's the actual chapel. This got a little rip in it when I was pulling the book apart, so I just reinforced that with some washi tape. So this makes a nice little accent there. And then we're at the back of the book, and this is the other side of those pockets. This is just a gift tag. I had picked up a few at Walmart a few years ago, and then I put a sticker in the middle of the O because it had a snowflake, so I changed it to a poinsettia. The last one of my handmade journal cards there. This is one of the images from Mrs. Cogg's Angel and Choirs, Christmas Angels and Choirs. And this is the envelope that goes with the little angel invitation. So I put it in here because I wanted you to have it. So you can do whatever you like with it. And then edged with some lace here. And then we're at the end. And there's my little label that says I made it for you. And it ties shut with these beautiful organza ribbon ties. I will be adding some fray check later. I didn't have time to do that before I needed to get this video done. So I will do that so that these hopefully don't fray. I have tried the method where you use a lighter or whatever, but then it just gets black, and I like the fray check better. So it will help it not to fray. And then on the very back again, the gold rickrack. This was the layout you saw me do several videos ago, and then it just echoes the same decoration as the front. And here's the plain gold button on the back for the tie. And that's it. That is the Little Lost Angel. Oh, one other little thing. This is the envelope I was keeping all of the ephemera and stuff in. It went with one or the other of those cards. And then this is my remaining cutout from the book pages. I thought what I would do is go ahead and give you that with this journal. And then if you want to put it wherever in the journal, you sure can, because I don't need it anymore. But yeah, that will be coming with it. And now let's go on to the Littlest Angel. While I'm swapping these out, I want to tell you that these, because it's taken me so long to get them finished, it was a very long day today before I could even get the video done. I will not list these until Saturday because I still have to go through and take the pictures and write the listings, and that takes a while, so I am not going to get to that tonight. I still have to edit and upload this video, so it's getting late, and it's been a really long day. So Saturday at noon is when both of these will be listed in my Etsy shop, also linked below, up above, all the places. I'm going to pull this camera up just a hair because, again, this is an oversized book, so it needs a lot of camera space, a lot of takes up a lot of room. Okay, so here he is, the littlest angel. He's all done. I'm so happy. I used that same lace that I trimmed on the little lost angel. I put here, but then I used gold rickrack here, and then I used this really pretty sparkly white organza ribbon ties. Now, when I did this one, and after I punched my hole, I realized, well, I was having the trouble, of course, with the ties squashing the lace. So I was trying to do something different on here so I wouldn't have that problem. I don't know if this is a great idea or not. I don't know. But it seemed to work. So when I punched the eyelet for the ribbon, I just kind of tied a knot. I glued it down. So basically there's a tie on the inside of the cover and a tie on the outside of the cover. And it does the same thing on the back. It seems to not be squishing the lace. So that's not your standard way to do it. Then I went ahead and glued the ribbon over it, and then, oh, and I had to do the corners. Anyway, I was trying to get my process down in the right order, and so it's a little bit different from how I did the other one, how I normally do them, but I think it still works. So anyway, that was kind of my solution for that. Then I have this little charm, and I just wanted to hang it here. I don't know if that's weird. It may get in the way, I don't know, but I just wanted it as kind of a cute little accent on the front. So I did it. Now the spine I left plain. You could add a gold doily or something here, that would be really pretty. Same treatment on the back. So this was a really clean cover. I was really surprised how nice the cover was on this book, considering its age. So it must have just sat on a bookshelf. Now I debated about adding a pocket on the inside, and I just didn't. It's so clean, I couldn't come up with anything that would make that look better. So obviously, new owner, you can add your own pocket here if you want. Now I used that cute angel fabric on the spine. On the outside I had the gold trim. On the inside I have this vintage rickrack that's the white with the silver threads through it. Really pretty. Hold on, I still want to get adjusted. I'm sorry about that. Let's see. So let's just flip through. And of course the challenge with this one was that it was jumbo, right? So lots of big pieces, lots of everything. But the plus with that is that you have tons of writing space, large pages to add your photos or mementos. It has 3 signatures, 116 pages total, 2 3/4 inch spine, and lots of vintage and handmade customized ephemera. Same as the other one, had vintage, handmade, and customized ephemera. So I did the same treatment here with the bias tape, with the printed bias tape along the edge of the book page, and I really like the blue and the green. I tried to focus on blue and green, but you'll see elements of red as well through here, just depending on the pages that we had. Scrapbook paper, I have this satin ribbon ruffle that I sewed and glued, and then you saw me stencil back there. And then you saw me make this jumbo journal card the other day. And I added, did I add the gold trim on camera? I honestly don't recall. I think I did. Anyway, that was 2 days ago. How can I be expected to remember? Here's, this book belongs to, so there's no tag that says that because you can put it right here. And there's a picture of the angel and the shepherds. This is a piece from Celeste that she sent me. This is one of those fabric washi tape pieces that was from Lisa, handmade by Lisa. I still haven't had a chance to check and see if her shop is still operational or not, but if it is, I will link it down below. I just layered the cute die cut over the fabric washi, and I think it turned out really darling, and it's a nice accent to this ginormous page. This, I just left it blank for the story, but of course you can cover it if you want to. Stamping, stamping, picture of an angel here. And then on the back side, here's those cute shepherds. This is just one of those collars that you get when you're like at a candlelight service, and it keeps the wax from dripping on your fingers. So I had it was clean. So I just backed it on some sparkly gold paper, and then I put a vintage Denison sticker in the middle to cover that up. Got one of my handmade journal cards, one of these Calico Collage. I'm gonna call it that because I think that's where I got them from. One of these cute Christmas carols. And then the envelope for the angel. Now this one I edged in gold. I didn't do that to the other one. I wonder if I should. Inside is a cute little vocabulary card for the word seraphic, which means angelic or sweet. And the Littlest angel is one of my most favorite seraphic characters. So here's another vintage Denison label. These I ordered off of Etsy a while ago, so I ordered them from an Etsy shop. I don't know that she still has them. And it's Paper Silo Company, but you can just search for vintage Denison labels or vintage Christmas labels, and you'll get a lot. I think some of them I may have also bought from Diane H. at Pretty Pink Cottage, but right at the moment she's mostly got digitals in her shop, so just have to keep an eye on her shop and watch her videos to know when she's got stuff there. Stamping, you saw me do that. Here's another page that is punched with a lace punch, and I tried to edge it to make it stand out. Oh, you saw me stencil and you saw me do the stamp, but I did this later. That's what it was, but I did this part on camera. Here's the book page, and then in the center of this book, in the center of the signatures, I just put a cute little fabric little piece of fabric and tied it in a knot, and that's the center of all three signatures, and it's the same fabric that's on the spine. You saw me make this and put this here. Now when I made this page, I only stamped in the corner and in the corner and here, and it was just empty. Well, as I was working on my way through the book, I did a treatment with lots of multicolored snowflakes on a different page, and I liked it so much I came back and added a similar effect to this page. It filled it up, and even though it's kind of like busy because I have 3 different colors and a lot going on, I feel like it works because the size of the page and the size of these snowflakes, I don't know, I never went to art school, I don't know, but it looks good to me. And so and so that's how it's going to stay. Now these are the ones we made on camera. You can open these up. I did stamp inside, and I did do a cute little corner punch on all of these, and they're all different. So it's a surprise as to what's in all of them. I did also ink and stamp all of these little pieces. So, you know, there's a lot of detail and attention to what's going on in both of these journals, and it's just how I operate, especially when it's Christmas. I just love doing more, you know, because there's always more you can add that I think just enhances the journal. Here's some more of my early stationery attempts with my new stamps when I was first getting into rubber stamping. And then this is a giant accounting paper ledger sheet. I went through on this journal, I think my stomach just growled, sorry about that. Went through and added, you'll see on several pages, I backed them on washi tape and added my flashcards, and then accented with gold stars punched out of gold metallic looking paper. This page, I did not like the page, what was going on it. So on this side, I covered it with a different book page and I sewed around the edge, and I love it. This has the look of an antique postcard, and I just love it. And I think this looks a lot better than whatever it was that was on there. I forget. On this side, I just glued down. I went around to Hark the Herald Angels Sing with my sewing machine and then glued it down. Here is a giant fabric flip I made. I tucked in a little charm, the Old Holy Night. Remember, I picked these out early when I was first figuring out what to put in these journals. Somehow, in the gluing and the sticking on of this pin, it's gotten a little sideways, but it still covers the page. And underneath, you have peace, joy, and love. So cool. So there's a lot of secret journaling under there. You can do a lot. It's probably making my camera go wonky as I change it from white to blue on the page. Okay, here's Joseph. I did a little more decorating. I added one of my flashcards down here, and I added this pretty white poinsettia up here. And since I use these poinsettias, okay, now I've got the light is going, there we go. I use these poinsettias in several places in this journal, and so it was a good fit here, and that corner needed something, and I still absolutely love this picture. I just think it is the neatest thing. Stamped on the back and inked it up. And then when you saw me work on this page on camera, I only added snowflakes on either side of the sentiment here, but then I went back and filled it in because I think it looks better all filled in with those snowflakes. It just adds a little extra. It's not such a big empty space, so I like that better. Again, I left the book page so you could read it. And then here's a beautiful image of the Three Kings. Here's the book page from the original book with the little lost angel. On this one, I did a similar thing that I had done in some of the Ukrainian journals that I made for the Ukrainian Center. You saw me do this, the stenciling. You saw me figure out this, but then I went back, I added the music, I added this layer of paper and the mulberry paper, and I sewed all around it. It's a little busy, but I think, honestly, I think it's okay. Again, it's like, it's Christmas and it's heaven and everything should be glorious and I don't know, just embellished. I also went around the edge with some gold ink. And then this is just a long skinny tag that I needed to make to fit in that spot. But this was where I had done it in those journals too, where I just took the envelope and slid it over the short piece and then made it into a tuck back here. And I don't know, something about the way I did those, I just really liked it. So I repeated it here. Now on the back side, this was punched out of one of those gift inspirational books, and this is actually the corner decoration on the page, so I have several of these tuck spots. Here it's acting as a closure for the envelope. I have a Denison label that says Merry Christmas. Inside is one of my handmade journal cards and a giant butterfly, and you're going to wonder why is there a giant butterfly. But you'll see here in just a minute why there's a giant butterfly. But I thought I'd make a great journaling card. So that's in there. Now on this one, I made one of the Cara McNulty pockets. I'm going to call it that forever, Cara, because I just love them. So when I folded it down, it was white on the back, so I just added a piece of this vintage looking fabric. I don't think it actually is vintage, but anyway. And then trimmed it out with some lace. I added one of my handmade embellishments there. These postage stamp images were in a book, so I just cut out all the ones that were in there. It was actually about Easter seals. So they were showing you all the different Easter seals throughout the year. So I cut them out with my postage scissors and turned them all into embellishments. It fits a tag. So I did the Peace, Joy, Love stamp and then put some of the pretty sparkly organza here. I put a peace charm. It says peace, and I sewed it on there so it will dangle. And that just tucks right in there. It's very cute. And then again, a book page image, same lace, that's here and here. Oh yeah, you saw me do this, right? You saw me sew that the other day. So there you go. Here's where it lives now. And we got some of this pretty sparkly lace, and I added some gold rickrack because heaven is sparkly. The other thing that I have in here is mixed gold and silver and just white sparkles. So all the different colors and all the different sparkles. There we go. That's the end of signature 2. Just Libby's sucking his thumb. That's so cute. Yes, and it must be here recorded that his wings were neither useful nor ornamental. So cute. I am going to read through this book because I have my own copy on Christmas Eve. I'm going to post it for Christmas Eve. So if you're interested in hearing the story of the little angel, the littlest angel, I will have it up on my channel on December 24th. And you guys can, if you want to watch it then or watch it afterward, that's fine. Anyway, I thought it would be fun because I really enjoyed reading to you in those other videos at the end. And so I just thought that would be something fun for Christmas to enjoy. Here's the big sack that Celeste sent me. And I'm sorry, Celeste, when I glued it down, I covered up where you signed it. I'm so sorry, but I love this. It's wonderful. So I made a giant journal card. This is another hymn out of one of my vintage hymnals, and Christmas carol. It's called Gospel Bells, and it's on bell paper. And then I just inked around the back, added this velvety ribbon ruffle. And it just tucks back there. Here's the giant tag that's from a greeting card. I didn't back it. I figure whoever gets it can either write in, maybe they want to write in white or back it with paper themselves. In here, this is where the vintage angel card is. Here's another one of these printables. Another one of these tags. This one says Goodwill, because that's what the angels say when they come down to the shepherds. And then another teeny tiny skinny tag that I made from a gift card. I'm trying to hurry because we are way long, and I only wanted this to be a 30-minute video, but obviously I talk too much. This is the story from Matthew. I backed it on scraps of paper to cover what was there, and I like it. I like how it turned out with the blues and the golds. Another Denison sticker, giant doily. Love it. It's so fun. I stamped up here, and I like how all of the layering works on this page. This is vintage trim from my mother's sewing basket from the 70s, and I raided that a few years ago when I got into junk journals. Underneath the doily, you have the wise men that I stamped and punched it out and then backed it on the gold paper. And then up here is one of my stamps in green, and then I stamped the star in gold. So looking at it like this, here's the angel and the star, and you can kind of tell there's a verse, but then when you flip it, now you see the wise men and they're following the star. This is the giant vintage placemat that had the umbrellas. So I turned it into a corner pocket. I sprayed gold and green. Now the green is pretty aggressive, so it bleeds through. But when you put it all together, the green and gold works. So I liked it. Here's this one that we made together, and I think I showed you that. And then this is another one of those Christmas carols from that book, and I just backed it on some notepad paper, added a little sparkle ribbon as a topper, and it just tucks in there as well. Gold trim on the page. I'd already glued it down, or I would have threaded something through it, but I just like the gold, so I just left it how it was. Another layering situation, I can't remember now, did we start? I did. I started showing you what I was going to do, and then this is how it completed, how it looks with the mulberry paper, and I messy stitched around the title, and then this is the child in the manger. Continuing on, here's the middle. Now on here, remember I hinged it with you, but then I added this little fabric tab so that you could tell that you're supposed to flip. And did I do anything else? Nope, that was it. Okay, and then I like this page a lot. This was that Season's Greetings. It had come off of a vintage card. It was just like that, and I think it was one of those old ones like where it would have two pieces on the front of the card, you know, and then these would always come loose. I think this is that piece. This is a current greeting card. It already had this on the back, so I just added the washi tape, and mainly because I stapled this on there and I didn't want anyone to get hurt. And then I added the white poinsettia, and I love it with the gold and the dove and the giant size, and it just tucks right there, and the flower keeps it from sliding through. And then this was the map of Israel at the first Christmas, the land of the first Christmas. What I was doing here when I was trying to use the green and gold sprays was I had a plastic placemat. I was trying to get that lace effect. You can kind of see it with the green, but that green is so alarming. Then I tried, because it talks about the star, I tried to stamp the gold star, and you can't tell. I was hoping it would pop against the green, and it didn't. So I had to go over it with Wink of Stella. So it is shiny on here to match the shiny gold and green, but it's kind of hidden up here in the green blob, the green splotch. Stamping, the other half of the doily, and then depending on how you're going, it's hiding this cute little image down here. Sorry, it's a little blurry, but it's still good. Here's that card, and now it's a pocket. So again, if you want to cover that, you can, or leave it. I liked it the way it was. Backed with a hem. Here's one of my journal cards, and then here's the vintage postcard that we picked out to go in here with the cute little angel. Now here we made this, remember? We did this, backed the picture on this together, and then I put it on the page. I did some stenciling, all kinds of stenciling. There's two different patterns, red and green. So I gave this a little decal edge. I can't remember why. I ended up using this, I know why. Because when I backed this picture here, I needed to go over the edges. So I used the poinsettia washi tape. So then I decided it would be kind of cute if you could see it. So I deckled the edge, inked it, added the washi tape here to tie in. Then I put down this envelope, added washi tape along the bottom to decorate it up. It's a pocket back behind, and this washi tape is holding down the edge of that picture so that you don't snag it. And here's that same postcard again, back here. And then this is a tuck. I think this again was a Calico collage, but for the life of me, I don't remember where I got that from. And then I have the image that I stamped. I also added just a blank index card. It's, I think, probably tea-dyed. And then a little label for whomever to play with. Just a couple little extras in there, because I had put the extra paper in the other one, so I had a couple extras on this one too. And then here's this postcard just hiding behind here, and one of those address labels as an actual label. In retrospect, I wish that I had, this is another area where I wish I had thought it through just for a second longer. I wish I had put twine around it. Oh my goodness, my stomach, I'm sorry. I wish I had put some kind of tie around it so it would tie shut, but then it would also interfere with the image, so maybe it was okay that I didn't. So that's how that looks. We're on to signature 3, and you can see all of the details that I've already pointed out on other things. Here is the Christmas blessing, and I stenciled there. Did I do this on camera? Because I honestly don't remember now. The Star Carol, I pulled this out and I backed it and I sprayed it, and I added this little punched out star and some gold trim, and it makes a nice oversized journal card that just tucks in here and makes the page look pretty. And it's got lots of sparkle on the card. That's so cool. Light of the World, here's another one of those. I've not been pointing them out, but they're on lots of these pages. There's the stamping. I put it on the brown coffee dyed paper and inked it just to give it some pop. Here's what we did the other day. And in here, where we had the shepherds, you saw the envelope with Celeste's she made this little sack and this, and then she gave me the tag and I just stamped on it. So that just tucks in there. But this is the poem that we read last time. So I'm just tucking that up under here. And since it says shepherds, this is the shepherd journal card. And I think that looks really nice in there. On this page, this is that card. I wish I had inked it before I laid it down, but I didn't think about it. So where I could, you got a little bit of blue, but nothing special. I wish, you know, if I had tried to, it would have gone over on the page. This is the page where I put all of the snowflakes. And this is the one I did first before I did the other one. Then I glued this down, and then I thought, oh gee, you should have inked this on the inside before you did that. Anyway, I love how this looks because I used 4 different colors of ink. And there's a gray, the navy blue, a turquoise, and a medium blue. The snowflakes are all different, and I just loved it. And then also I punched the corners. Peace on Earth. Guys, I'm really sorry how long this is going. I had no idea it would go this long. Maybe I shouldn't explain so much. Maybe I should start over and just film it with music. This was from a Christmas card, and I edged it in gold. Again, you can see that in the video at the beginning of the year where I showed you what I was doing with leftover Christmas cards. You saw me make this one. Here's this. You saw me make this on camera, and I did stamp inside, so it'll be a surprise. And on here, I inked and stamped little snowflakes on this guy, on all of these, all 3 of those. Okay, here's the center. He's so cute. And then on this page, I love it. So I made a pocket here to cover the book words, but I like these boxes because they just make me think of this little box that he presented. When you're reading the story, he talks about what was the gift that he was giving to the infant. Well, what was in his box of treasures says was a butterfly with golden wings, a sky blue egg from a bird's nest, 2 white stones found on a muddy riverbank, and a leather strap that was worn as a collar by his dog. And so I had this butterfly that looks like this one here. It's got a little gold on it. And then I went in my stash and I found this ephemera piece, and it's got the little blue eggs in it and the nest. I didn't have anything that looked like a limp collar or a white stone, so whoever gets this, if you have something like that, add it. But used my label, the vintage rickrack, and I just like it. I like how it turned out, and it tied with the story. Turned out really cute. And then this is now a side pocket with another one of my flashcards and folded up piece of paper for stationery. And this one actually has like cloud. It almost looks like the sky. So I wasn't going to show you, but now I will because I wanted to show you the sky. Very fun. Okay, and then I added this belly band. I think I showed you that last time. This is the journal card that's going under there. I had the Oh Holy Night on the back. Jumbo journal card. It fits in there very nicely. This is keeping the page safe. Then on this one, this quilted fabric is, I don't remember where I got it from, but it had been in the bottom of my tree ornaments like pretty much the whole 30 years that I've had my box of ornaments, okay? So it was cushioning everything. Well, I decided to take it out and replace it with something different and bigger. And so this is vintage, I'm pretty sure. Because I think where I got it from was again from my mom's old sewing stash. So it is now a quilted pocket in this journal, the vintage rickrack, the seam binding here with the print on it. Then I wanted a big red button, and I didn't have one. So I went with a little red button and a scrap of sparkly lace to accent it in the middle. Here's this journal card that we made the other day. That's where that one is to live. We made this on camera earlier when I was doing the sacks. So it goes back behind, and then this cute little journal card I stamped quite some time ago, but I love the little boy in his jammies, and of course he looks like the little angel in this book. Same jammies. They shop at the same place. This card became a belly band. It's edged with lace. It's blank on the inside for you to write, and then this vintage card. I was originally going to use this as a belly band, but it just was a little too short for all the pages. It just didn't work, and I thought, you know, there's a lot of blank space, and it is vintage, so let's just make it ephemera instead, and then it slides in there. It's so cute. Okay, same idea. Reinforce the holes, put sparkly ribbon there, and then here's one of these collage arrangements with my flashcards for my shop. I have to say I did a good job using them all. I only have a couple left, I think. I was very proud of myself. I like this. There's the angel. Almost at the end. And here we are. That's the last page. I added my little sticker. Here we go. Looks like I got a little glue on the page. But again, I left it blank because it's so big and clean, and whoever gets it is welcome to do whatever they want with it. You could glue a big envelope here. You can make a big pocket. You can do whatever you want. So that, my dear friends, is a very long video sharing my 2 journals, so I apologize that it was that long. I didn't mean for it to be. Okay, so they will be in the shop Saturday at noon, which is my time, Mountain Standard Time. So you can figure that part out, and yeah, I will keep working on the other 2. But I'm really happy to have these 2 done. A lot of work, a lot of love went into these, so sometimes I feel like maybe I should just put them up for auction. But Etsy doesn't do auctions, and eBay is not a great place to sell handmade goods. So today's quote is very short. I was listening to lots and lots and lots of Christmas music while I was making these, and this was in one of the songs, and it says, "The secret of Christmas is not the things you do at Christmas time, but the Christmas things you do all year through." So think on that, and until next time, my friends, be inspired and do something creative, and I got to get to editing. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.